Hey world, it is Sheila, and today I have a guest on my channel. It is Laura Miller.
Hi.
And we have both been in OPS system. I've been 5 months. How long have you been?
Since November.
Okay, so
9 months.
9 months. Ooh, a whole baby. So we both have been typed by Dave and Shan. I apologize if we're at a park, so if it's loud, I apologize, but hopefully, you know, it's all good. I've been typed, and I have been typed. My official type is FF, FI, SE, consume, play, blast, sleep, and that is an ISFP. And what have you been typed as?
Okay, I've been typed as an ISTJ, MF, SITE, blast, play, sleep, consume.
All right. So her and I both have the only functions. Well, we share FI and we share TE. Hers is a savior, mine's a demon, and then my FI is a savior, hers is a demon. So we share a little bit of that, and then we both have play second. So we've been chatting for, I don't know, hour and a half. And
yeah, it's about that time.
yeah, we could definitely see the play. She saw the play in me, and so the play comes out, and then are there any other functions we share? No, I have blast.
Just the FI and the TE, and then we both have savior play. We both have feminine extroverted decider.
Yes, we both have.
Both have feminine TE and masculine FI.
Ah, so we have some similarities. She's in the ST quadrant, and I'm in the SF quadrant. Anything else?
Well, we were talking about temperament stacking. So your missing temperament is NT, and my missing temperament is NF.
Yes, and the NT for me, yeah, that is not my go-to at all. And where do you think that? When you say that's by your least easy for you, when you see other NF people, do you just find them a little more like, what are they talking about? Or
sometimes it's the hippie woo-woo stuff. It's kind of like, what are you talking about? Give me the facts, the logic. But sometimes it's like they have this intuitive knowing about people and feelings and emotions that I can't quite seem to tap into.
Okay. And for me with the NT, I think if they're getting too like rigid and logistical, is that the word? Logistical. Or telling me too much how things work, like very detailed, like if taking part cogs or like any of that NT, that just, I don't know, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there very often. So we compiled some questions that we're going to ask for each other, and you can kind of see a difference between what an ISTJ is and an ISFP, and yeah, just give you guys a little insight to us. So the first one is, what did I write?
What is easy for you but difficult for others? Okay, so I will answer this question. So I've always been really good at math, and I know a lot of people I know shy away from math or find it difficult. I just found it easy to learn, and I am good at organizing things. Like, I work in the library, I'm a librarian, and I just could easily pick up the way books were organized. We organize nonfiction books by the Dewey Decimal System, so they have a Dewey Decimal number that's sorted by subject, and I just picked that up. It was like easy, We sort the nonfiction books by the Dewey Decimal number. We sort the fiction books by the author's last name. But I know that sometimes other people that come into the library, they have trouble figuring out those kinds of organizational systems out. So I just find that easy. I don't always enjoy doing it, but I do find it kind of easy, or at least easier than most people I know, to follow a procedure, to follow the directions, to follow a recipe. Just do what the sheet says, and then sometimes people have a difficult time with that.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, let's see. What's easy for me, difficult for others? Easy for me, I guess people are fairly easy for me. Even being an IP, I think I can, and maybe it's my high play that comes out. I'm always trying to find out, I guess, I'm trying to think. Easy for me, I obviously did not plan, so I'll be editing a little here, but easy for me, what is easy for me? I guess going with the flow in life. Okay, that I guess is easy for me. Anytime somebody throws something at me, I can just be like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out, let's roll with it. Change, I don't know, I guess with change, last minute plans changing or stuff, I don't like it, but I can just roll with it easy. I don't get caught up in like, oh no, I'm just like, okay, that's fine, and then, so yeah, I can roll with the plans easy and the change. So I love change, and I think where others might not do well is that if they've had this, plan in their head, it's like, oh no, I can't change because that's not, you said, exactly these words. So I guess that's where I would find myself.
Yeah.
Go with the flow, easier with the plans than others.
Yeah, that's a really good answer.
I did not blast as well as Miss Blaster over here. So there, pay attention
But you're the consume queen.
But pay attention to that. So she's got blast first, I have blast last. And how well she just speaks. And then I'm like, bleh. So there is a big one that you can pay attention to yourself too. So
although I think you speak pretty well, and I think having savior play helps with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think when it comes to
because
interaction,
sometimes these sleep consume people, they're kind of more, and it's hard to get a word out of them. But it's like, once you start talking, you're kind of energetic and you're entertaining to listen to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right. So easy. Well, so did we just do that one then?
We're on this one. So it's the reverse. What's easy for other people but difficult for you?
Okay.
So it's inverse of the first question. So I think sometimes I feel like I don't read people or subtext as well as I would like to, or people's deep inner motivations. I'm kind of more literal. I kind of need to be explicitly told. It's gotten better over time, but sometimes I feel like maybe I'm missing something, or I'm not grasping it fully. So that's something that I've had to learn to struggle, or something that I've struggled with through life, and I've kind of had to learn to overcome.
Okay. All right. So easy for others, difficult for you. I guess what I envy in others that I don't see in myself, that I strive to be in others, is just the ability to get things started, like organizing, a group of people, and be like, hey, let's all do this, and organize it and be the planner and the go-to person, and delegate. You guys bring the potato salad, and you do this and do that. So I love when somebody just takes that control and organizes, and just tells me kind of like, you bring the pasta salad, and then I'm like, okay, that's good. But I would love to be able to be that organizer and get the ball rolling on things and feel more that way. So I wish when other people do that, I'm like, oh man, that would be a dream.
Yeah. And I think I was going to add another thing to that, easy for others but difficult for me. But I think I envy other people that can kind of just quickly come up with innovative solutions on the spot, or like people that can just like write poetry from scratch, and just kind of these really creative people. And because NF is my missing temperament, or just being able to really intuitively understand people and just kind of have a way with people, like to really motivate them and move them. That's kind of a beautiful skill that I kind of wished I possessed more of. And sometimes I'm kind of bad like at troubleshooting new problems on the spot if it hasn't matched my internal experience, because I'm using that SI. It's got to match with my internal experience. So I go into a totally unfamiliar situation, there's a machine that's broken, or something's going wrong. How do I fix it if I've had no prior experience? So I just kind of wished I could improvise better and be more creative like that.
Well, and these are all things that if we use our demons, we can get better. So, can wish in one hand and crap in another. So, all right. What things are you pushy or stubborn about?
Okay. Well, I'm pushy about, I guess, making sure that people are doing things in the correct way sometimes. Like especially not misrepresenting the facts. Like, we got to make sure we've got the facts right, that I'm not telling people wrong, we're not giving people misinformation. So if I see somebody making an error of fact, sometimes I feel like it's my responsibility to correct it. And I mean, I guess it can be pushy or stubborn when somebody's trampled on my values, or they're just doing something that's really really unethical, or when I just see people just being really rude to others, or just mistreating other people, or just not treating them fairly. I can push back with my masculine FI against that and said, hey, that's not acceptable. That's disrespectful.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm concurring with that point. So yeah, the things I'm pushy or stubborn about. I've been called stubborn. If I had $1 for every time, I think where I get stubborn is when I want to do what I want to do, and somebody tells me that I should do something else, or I should do this, that's where I'm just like, like I'll just dig my heels in, and I'm like, oh no, nobody puts baby in the corner type attitude. I'll just shut down, and get so I can just feel my prickles on my, and I'm just like, no, I just get really angry when people tell me what to do. So I get stubborn and shut down there. And where I get pushy back at people is probably when the tribe is crapping on a value of mine, and I see it, and I'm just like you said, no, that's not acceptable. That's not how people behave. This, so my FI will come out because it's masculine also. And it will come out pretty strongly, but not often. It just has to be one of those strong values that somebody crosses where it will come out. But for the most part, I'm kind of like, not a big deal. So yeah, that's where we're very similar in that aspect. All right. So what are you flexible about?
Okay. Well, I think I'm pretty pretty open-minded, like when it comes to like learning the typology systems, like I can kind of see, you know, different reasons for why something could be correct, and I can kind of see the truth in different people's views. And you know, I think it helps that my TE and my NE or feminine, like I'm not gonna like immediately dismiss it as this is just crap, this is just wrong. I'm gonna at least hear you out, and I'm gonna, you know, investigate it. I'm gonna check it out, and so I can be flexible about that.
Okay.
Because I can kind of see how different people can kind of be correct, like they're correct in this way, and then this person's correct in that way, and
all right, so what am I flexible about? I guess other people's values, I don't, if somebody holds a value, I don't ever think, oh, that they shouldn't hold that value, or they shouldn't, like, say somebody's a vegan. I never think like they should eat meat, they shouldn't do, like, I just don't think that way. I just like, that's great, they could be a vegan, I want to eat meat, I'll do what I want to do, they can do what they want to do. So I'm really flexible when anyone has their values. I just embrace them for who they are as a person. I don't judge them or think they're a certain way because they value something that I don't value, or vice versa. We might just not have as much in common. We might not be besties or, you know, hang out. You know, if I want to sit and eat a bloody raw steak and my bestie's a vegan and gets upset every time I eat a steak, that's going to be a conflict. But the most part, like, yeah, I'm just not like going to bust anyone's chops over their values. So I'm really flexible when it comes to that. So
yeah. And I think I could say the same thing. You know, it's really only a problem like if they're going to force it on me and force me to live their lifestyle. Like if they're always wanting to convert me to a vegan or to a certain religion. That's not okay, you know, but like it's fine if we have different religions or different
Yes, I agree. Yeah, so that's also where they're masculine FI. It's like we're solid in our values, so we're solid with other people in their values, as long as don't tease me because I do something or I feel a certain way. So I guess that's and then therefore I will give you the same courtesy. I would never be like, you believe this? I just would never. I can't think that way. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, so when you argue, are you an arguer?
I don't like to argue just for the sake of arguing.
Okay.
I know that like I guess anecdotally this is kind of ENTPs, like they like to argue for fun and like to debate. I'm not like that. I kind of argue more out of necessity, or maybe because I can see that maybe somebody's wrong or misrepresenting the facts, or they're just steamrolling over somebody, and they're just making somebody feel really dumb or stupid, and then I feel like that's not okay, and then I'll kind of argue about that. Okay. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So
so when you argue your points, what are your defenses?
Well, I think a lot of it is showing them the facts. Well, here's what the facts say. The facts say this right here on this page. You can read it. This is what it says. So oftentimes that's my defense. Okay. But I think I often or sometimes it's just reasons. If it's not done this way, here are the consequences. Like when I'm like working with customers in a library and I got to explain to them, why we use a certain procedure. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's kind of a cause and effect thing, and then sometimes it's just, I argue when I feel like my values have been violated, or somebody's kind of treating me bad or unfairly, and then I can argue about that.
Okay. All right, so when I argue my points, what are your defenses? I'm not one to argue too often. I'm a little more passive, I would say, in general. And my defenses, I don't have really good defenses. I think I usually shut down when somebody's arguing with me. I guess, I don't know if I go to the facts right away. I think I usually just kind of be like, just cuz. I'm like, I don't have a good reason. I don't have a good, I guess, especially if I don't know a lot about what somebody wants to argue with, because I'm just not good at it at all. I mean, I don't want to argue. I don't want to, I don't want to give reasons. I don't want to give my opinion. I don't like arguing. That's probably the one I don't. Now, if it's something that I'm super passionate about, what do I like to argue about? I guess if I know a fact, like we were talking earlier, if I know something 100% and I know it, and somebody's arguing like you're wrong, then I'll dig my heels in, and then I'll go to Google and be like, so maybe at that very last minute I'll be like, here's what it says, see, you're wrong. So I will go to the sensory last resort, I think, when it comes, because I just don't want to argue. I'll just usually be like, in general.
Yeah.
But like everything, there's exceptions to the rules, so I don't know. I think that's that Enneagram 9 in me. I'm just kind of like, why put the energy in to argue? Because most likely I'm not going to change people's opinions, and I don't really want to change. So, all right. So our last question: what is really obvious to you that others people miss?
Well, I think for me it kind of relates to that first question, like what's easy for me and difficult for others. So sometimes it's like I can do arithmetic in my head, sometimes, and people are like, wow, how did you do that? I don't know, I just do it. Or being able to pull up some specific fact. I mean, I don't remember every single fact out there. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a walking encyclopedia, but I mean, like the facts that I find important, I do remember those facts, and I can recall them pretty easily. See if there's anything else. What's obvious that other people miss. I guess kind of that stuff, and I think it's obvious, like that people like I'll read like a document or something, and it will say, okay, you gotta, this is due by a certain time, and I always take that stuff seriously, and then it's like some people, like, they don't take deadlines seriously, and it's like, well, you're gonna get in trouble if you don't follow the deadline, and I'm kind of like, maybe I take that kind of stuff too seriously, because I see it as kind of a fixed thing, and other people didn't even read it, and they totally missed it, and then they get a late bill in the mail saying that they didn't pay their bill on time, and it's like I almost always notice those things, and I just take it seriously. Okay, you got to pay by this date. Okay, I'm just gonna pay it. And
okay, so the respect for the sensory.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What is really obvious to me that other people miss? I'm a big feeler, so people's emotions, people's demeanor, the whole vibe of them, I pick up really easy on most people. I just get a sense of, even if they're just their body language, like if they're just a little closed off, or just, I can always just sense really quickly if something's off with a person that I know well. But even a complete stranger, sometimes I'll just pick up a feely vibe from them as well, that I'm always super, super good at. My husband's always like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that, or I'll just say, oh, so-and-so's off, I wonder if this is wrong or that's wrong. And so I'm really observant with the sensory when it comes to people, and being able to just feel their feels. Like, I don't know, compared to other people that I've learned. I just always thought it was just natural that everybody felt this way, but the more I've learned about all these different personalities and how the feels aren't normal, or that it's not a gift or something easy for most people. But yeah, I just pick up a vibe from people easily. So and that's
interesting.
Yeah. I love that. Or like where you could just kind of, if someone's talking and just says something slightly different, or a different tone, they'll be like, oh, okay, that was too much, I shouldn't go there. I know when to not push, but sometimes I'll push those boundaries just because I want to consume the other person. Like when I first met her, I'm just asking her like a million questions, like, tell me all about you, Laura.
All about all your tidal waves. I want to know your tidal waves. Tell me about your tidal waves.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes. I want to know all the goodies. Let's hear all of the skeletons in your closet. So yeah.
And I think for me, I mean, because sometimes I feel like I'll sense strong vibes for others, but I think for me, because that NF is a demon, I'm not always sure that I assessed it correctly. I always feel like I have doubts there, like does a person really like me or not? They seem pleasant, they seem approachable, or they seem angry, but are they, they look like they could be angry at me, but are they really? So it's like I'll sense that information, but then I it's like I don't always know how much I should trust it sometimes.
Or what it's saying?
Sometimes. I mean, I've gotten better at it as I've gotten older.
Okay.
But
so those visual cues, do you think you just are picking up, or is it more the feeling cues, or what do you think?
Well,
because you're a thinker and I'm a feeler.
It's both. It's both visual and auditory, although technically my modality is auditory, so I think maybe I'm a little more sensitive to the auditory cues.
Okay.
Like I'll pick up on them a little easier than the visual. But I mean, it's not that I don't notice those cues, but it's just more that I'm not confident that I'm interpreting them correctly sometimes.
Okay. So because you're not confident, does that mean you'll be less apt to go out on a limb? Like, say you're sensing like somebody's sad or something, will you not be like, hey, what's wrong? Or are you less apt to do something like that then?
Well, sometimes I may not necessarily notice. It depends. Like if they're crying, then they're probably sad. Okay, because that's obvious. But sometimes they might, just look a little sad. And yeah, sometimes I'm not sure if I should approach them, but then sometimes I've been wrong and said, oh, you look sad, and then like, nope, I'm not sad at all, or
okay.
or like, you look upset, or like, nope, not upset. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I'll pick up on those cues and I will act on them more than not, and usually I'm right. I don't, unless, I mean, maybe the times I don't even remember anyone saying no, I'm not, or they'll be like, oh, most times you'll just hear kind of like, I'm fine,
yeah.
And they're not, but then not to dig anymore. So I'll throw them a little bone, and if they don't take it, then I know, okay, obviously they don't want to talk. But or sometimes they'll just be like, yeah, and they'll just like blah. everything on me, and I love to consume that, like, because I just love listening to people and learning all about them and what makes them tick, and you know, maybe I might have some good advice for them, maybe I just need to listen to them. I don't know. I'll always assess everything in the moment and read that person. So I think that's, yeah, I enjoy that. So
yeah.
Any first impressions? So we just met tonight. We've chatted before online. We know a little bit about each other. We've watched each other's stuff, but like in person meeting, what was one thing that you had a preconceived notion about me that either confirmed or didn't confirm by meeting me in person?
I think everything kind of confirmed what I saw online. You're the real deal. You're an ISFP. You're not pretending to be one. You're not one of these creepy, phony people online. So your husband has nothing to worry about when you told him that you were going to meet me in person.
Yes, it's Laura, not Larry. Yeah. Okay. So interesting.
How about you?
Okay. Well, I saw what I got too. Like you, very authentic on camera. What you see is what you get with Laura too. It's like I didn't. It doesn't feel like you're one person there and one person here. You feel like the same person. You're less blasty in person.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the blast there. Like when I ask her a question, which I love asking questions, she will be able to just go and then, you know, maybe go a little bit more. So you've got really good blast, but it's not like in your face where I can't get a word in edgewise. It's not like that, because sometimes blast first people get a bad rap, and
well, I think it makes a difference, like if it's the modalities, like if it's double masculine blast, that's pretty intense.
Yes.
And mine's masculine feminine, so it's a little more balanced, but then technically my blast functions are double activated, so
yeah.
And I think I've learned to tone it down too as I've gotten older.
Do you pick up on the cues where when somebody is, like my mom, I think was a pretty darn good blaster.
Yeah.
And she was always cutting people off, like in the middle of a conversation, like just, she wasn't even listening to me talk sometimes. She'd just be like, cut them off, or I always, so I think that's kind of a learned thing.
It is, because
where you have to know not to cut
because
off.
when I was a lot younger, like in my childhood or even in my teenage years, that was more of a problem. I didn't always sense that maybe I was going on and on about the same stuff, and people were bored with me. And
okay, yeah, we learn, right?
Yeah, we learn.
You can teach old dog new tricks all the time.
That's right.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little difference between an ISTJ and an ISFP. We're similar in a lot of ways. We're both introverted. We both have that masculine FI. That was probably pretty noticeable with a lot of our questions. Very similar. And then the TE, where she's much better at it than I am. But
and you're much better at the FI, so it's a trade-off.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.